I can start? All right, so the sound is on? Okay, all right. Well, welcome to worship at Patchwork Central. I'm Jill Heminger, for those of you who don't know me. There might be a couple of you. But this is the first time I've done a virtual leading of the service, but we'll see what happens here. So I'd like to welcome you on this day before Valentine's Day. My thought was to just be reading some various readings about love and the different ways of love, or just good things like that. Not the romantic stuff so much. You're going to save that for tomorrow. Tomorrow is actually Valentine's Day. But also I'd like to welcome you on a day that came with such very, very sad news. If you haven't heard, Kevin Fleming, the pastor at First Presbyterian Church, passed away suddenly yesterday. And if there was any person who exemplified love, I think he would definitely fit the bill. So we're all so very sorry for that. Let's see. I think the next thing I need to do is who's here, right? And checking the names. So I've got one that says, Jane Thompson Johansson. She wanted audio and now she has it. Okay. Niels is here. Sean, okay, I'm looking. There we go. Sean, no sound, but do you have it now, Sean? Amy. Erica. Hi, Erica. Sean's got sound. Laura Weaver's here. This is weird. Sorry, everyone. I'm trying to scroll up. I'm sorry, everyone. Help, John. No, wait. Live chat. Maybe Sean's the last one. Well, okay. I guess I'll stop playing with it. It'll turn out to okay. Laura's there. Yes, I said that. Okay. So I think after I've read those names, which I just did, the next thing would be to see if there are celebrations this week. And I know of one, and that's that Jane Johansson has a birthday on the 19th, which is next Saturday. So, oh, look, John's here. So it just pops up at the very bottom. Okay, I think I've got this now. And so we're going to sing, the three of us. Sorry, John, you have to help me here. We're going to sing to Jane. Okay, all right, Bill. All right. Ready? We're going to sing to Jane Johansson. When you're at home, just sing along with us. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jane. Happy birthday to you. There you go. All right. All right. Okay, so I have with me today Bill, who plays the piano. So we are going to do, one of the ways that, well, one thing that Bill and I, on Valentine's Day and any other day, love is music. And so I thought we'd share some of it with you. Since you're not here, I'm not going to sing. I'll play my flute, and we'll do a couple verses of a few of the songs that are in the Patchwork Songbook. So the first one we'll do is Lord of All Hopefulness. If you have one of these at home, it's page 34. Otherwise, just hum along or sing any words you remember. And we'll do 2 verses. Do you have an intro? Yeah, okay. I hope you remembered those words, or some of them. Lord of all hopefulness. I guess I really should have been reading some of the lyrics. The next one we're going to play right now, Bill, is the next one we're going to sing is Spirit of Gentleness, and that's on page 48. And let me just read you the words for the first verse to, jog your memory. So, Spirit of gentleness, blow through the wilderness, calling and free. Spirit of restlessness, stir me from placidness, wind on the sea. And the first verse starts with, you moved on the waters, and hopefully you can remember the rest. All right, Bill, intro. Thank you, Bill. I'm going to look at this and see if there's anybody else. Oh, okay. So the other people who are here now are, let me start again. No, I won't. Never mind. Gail is here, and maybe Bill, she says. And Helen Templeton, good, and Amy Rich, and okay. Is Jean there? Well, I guess it doesn't want to go up. So Amy, that's the last thing. I hope you're not muted. That's what she's suggesting. Oh, Helen can't hear it from the Protestant home. Oh, I hope she can get that straightened out. So what I wanted to do was just read several things having to do with love. And I think I'll start with, not from the Bible, but a sonnet by William Shakespeare. Okay? So this is Sonnet 116, and the title of it is, Let Me Not to the Marriage of True Minds. Let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments. Love is not love, which alters when it alteration finds, or bends with the remover to remove. Oh no, it is an ever-fixed mark that looks on tempests and is never shaken. It is the star to every wandering bark, whose worth's unknown, although his height be taken. Love's not time's fool, though rosy lips and cheeks within his bending sickle's compass come. Love alters not with his brief hours and weeks, but bears it out even to the edge of doom. If this be error and upon me proved, I never writ, nor no man ever loved. I always liked that one. Yes. Okay, wait. So I'm going to make sure I do this in the order I want to do. Okay, so I do have some. There are a number of them from the Bible, and I'll read the three that I chose. And the first one's from Romans, verses 9 through 18. Love must be sincere. Hate what is evil. Cling to what is good. Be devoted to one another in love. Honor one another above yourselves. Never be lacking in zeal, but keep your spiritual fervor serving the Lord. Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer. Share with the Lord's people who are in need. Practice hospitality. Bless those who persecute you. Bless and do not curse. Rejoice with those who rejoice. Mourn with those who mourn. Live in harmony with one another. Do not be proud, but be willing to associate with people of low position. Do not be conceited. Do not repay anyone evil for evil. Be careful to do what is right in the eyes of everyone. If it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. And that's where I'll stop with that one. That's 9 through 18 in Romans. And this one is from 1 Peter chapter 4, verses 8 through 10. Above all, love each other deeply, because love covers over love a multitude of sins. Offer hospitality to one another without grumbling. Each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace in its various forms. And then from a very famous one from 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4 through 7. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. And then finally from Corinthians also, verse 13, and now these three remain, faith, hope, and love, but the greatest of these is love. I have a couple more. Let me make sure I'm doing it in the order I wanted to do it. Hang on. Prescriptions from Living. Okay. 2 more readings. And this is from a book called Prescriptions for Living by Bernie S. Siegel, MD. And it's a chapter about why we should love our enemies, which, when I first started thinking about this, I wish that maybe this could have been something we would have people here so I could ask. It's so easy for me to love Bill, for instance, most of the time, but it isn't so easy to, when you think about your enemies, it isn't so easy by any means. Anyway, this is why we should love our enemies. We need to learn to love ourselves so we can love others. But which others? Our families and friends? That's obvious. But does it really matter whether we love people outside our immediate circle? Is there any reason to love our enemies? How about the people who hurt us and our loved ones? There is just one answer to questions about whom we must love: everyone. We cannot pick and choose. If we want true peace of mind, we must try to love all living beings. Consider what seems like an extreme case first: people who wrong you or want to hurt you. Jesus said, "Love your enemies." Why did he give us such strange advice? He wasn't just urging us to be noble or righteous. He advised us to love our enemies because he understood that love is the great obliterator. Love is never destructive. It never harms anyone. but it does obliterate and eliminate. When you love your enemies, they don't exist anymore. You haven't ended their lives, but you have eliminated them as enemies. You have killed them with the most potent weapons, kindness and love. I thought that was kind of nice. And then last, some of you watch TED Talks or listen to TED Talks, and there's a woman who, shoot, I can't remember what it's called. Oh, she's started the Revolutionary Love Project, and she's written a book and she's done a TED Talk. The quote at the top of this, the introduction for, I think for her book maybe, is this: love is a form of sweet labor, fierce, bloody, imperfect, and life-giving, a choice we make over and over again. As labor, love can be taught, modeled, and practiced. Revolutionary love is the choice to enter into labor for others, for our opponents, and for ourselves in order to transform the world around us. It is not a formal code or prescription, but an orientation to life that is personal and political. It engages all our emotions. Joy is the gift of love. Grief is the price of love. Anger protects that which is loved. And when we think we have reached our limit, wonder is the act that returns us to love. That's one quote from her. So her name is Valerie Kaur, I think, K-A-U-R. She's a civil rights leader, a faith leader, a filmmaker, a lawyer, and an author. Here's a couple more things that she has said. When we pour love in three directions, towards others, towards opponents, and ourselves, then love becomes revolutionary. And then this is one I really like. This is the last reading for me, the last little quote. Love is not a passing feeling. It is an act of will. It is the choice to extend our will for the flourishing of others. I really like that. So that ends the kind of, I guess, the word section. And it is a time for gifts, and I should have asked you to be typing those in, but if you have gifts that you'd like to mention right now, I will read them. Oh, wait a minute. Whoa, somebody said that was wonderful. Wait, it keeps, wait a minute, so hang on, check that you don't, oh. Jane Johansson said, love is Rabbi Matzo filling the pulpit at First Presbyterian this morning. Oh, that's so nice. Jean Baker, I think? That's Jean. Oh, okay. Finally, I got connected. Oh, I see. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, and then Amy said, Patchwork got a nice note from Billy and Tom, who are doing okay in New Albany. They sent a donation for the Thule Pet Food Fund in memory of Darlene. Helen says, Helen Templeton still can't hear. Oh, Sean, the gift of you and Bill and your music. Thank you, Sean. And so I think that's the last one, because that's, I guess I really don't have to swipe. It sort of does it itself. Okay, so, well, it's a gift to be here, sort of with you, even, and it's a gift that John came over to do the communion later. At this time, I would also like us to move, well, here, I know that Karen would say, gifts for Patchwork and its wonderful services would be much appreciated from any and all of you. Okay. Now it's the time for prayer concerns, and Jean contacted me this afternoon to make sure that I knew about Kevin Fleming, and so she asks for prayers for the family, the three girls and Wendy, and all the family really, and also for the congregation of First Presbyterian. Other prayer concerns are Beverly Addinger, I think. I guess she's a local musician who's a lot of people might know from the past, teacher and organ and piano player, and she had a severe stroke. So she's asking for prayers for Beverly Addinger. And also prayers for Helen, who I hope by now can read. So, I mean, not read, I'm sure she can read. Hear, I hope she can hear what we're saying here. Prayers for Helen, she's still at the Protestant home. Are there other prayer concerns? Okay, so I don't see any other prayer concerns. I guess the big concern is to figure out how Helen can unmute her. I hope that works, Helen. Okay, so Bill has agreed to play a wonderful piece of music in honor of Kevin Fleming. It's a Bach, what is it? It's a Bach prelude, and when you listen to it, you'll hear it on piano, but I like to think that Kevin might be up there somewhere with Helen Reed. So if you want to, in your mind, imagine a harpsichord playing it as well. But here's Bill. Thank you, Bill. And thank you, Erica, for your comment. She likes the music. It's time now for communion, and John has graciously agreed to do that while we'll switch the microphone, I guess, right? That's, oh, just leave it here?
Just leave it here. I'll okay. So on this Valentine's Day, to talk about love, I think Jill was right to pick readings that expand our idea of love. Too often, especially those of us in the West, tend to think of love as this sentimental, romantic emotion, and not to see it as a force of will, as a process of obliterating enemies and hatred, as a much more powerful force, a universal force. I think love is not just human. Love is the law of gravity. Love is the circle of fifths. Love is photosynthesis. Love is how the universe creates and co-creates and recreates and procreates, how things come together, how light is both a wave and a particle, how we are meant to be living in unity and diversity simultaneously. This is all love. And Jesus, I think, understood this when he gathered with his friends in that upper room and pointed out these simple elements, but elements that have so much complexity in them. A loaf of bread that is produced from the labor of human hands, but also from sunshine and from growing things from the earth and from yeast that leavens the dough and from heat that bakes it. The wine that grows on the vine and the fermentation process of treading with the feet and so many other processes and creativity that must go into these very simple day-to-day items. And Jesus said these are symbols, these are remembrances, reminders that you are part of me and I am part of you, that love unifies us, that love brings us even to what was Shakespeare's phrase, to the brink of gloom or brink of doom, and that he would die the next day, and carries us through that, just as we are being carried through our grief for Kevin and for others that we have lost by the love. Because what is grief if not love persevering in the face of death? And so I invite you to take whatever element that you have gathered, whether it's a piece of bread or a cracker or whatever you have in your element of the cup, whether that's juice or wine, and gather it to yourself and understand that all of these elements, even in their diversity of whatever each of you has gathered, we are all eating from the same loaf. We are all drinking from the same cup. Because it was on the night that Jesus was betrayed, he still loved through the betrayal. And he took bread and he gave thanks for it and he blessed it and he broke it. And he said, "Take and eat. This is my body broken for you. Do this in remembrance of me." And after supper, in like manner, he took the cup. And he said, "Drink of this cup, all of you. For poured out in this cup is the new covenant in my blood, shed for the forgiveness of sins, even the sins of the people who will kill me. And I will not drink of the fruit of the vine with you again until we drink it in a new world, a new creation that we will create together." And so I invite you to take your bread and eat and dip it in your cup or drink from your cup. And as we share this meal together, let us understand how connected we are and how much love unifies us. Amen.
Thank you so much, John. That was beautiful. And I love that you were able to say some of the things that I wanted to say when I first thought about talking about love, and you did it beautifully, so thank you. Actually, I have to say that it seems like it should be easier to do this with no one here, but it's really much, much harder not to have people in front of you, looking at you, smiling at you, closing their eyes, whatever. But I miss seeing the people in the front. All right. So I think. Oh yeah, we have 2 more songs. I think we're going to do 2 more songs. We'll do "I Am the Bread of Life," page 25, and the servant song, and I forgot the number on that. But we'll do 2 verses of each of those. So before we do those 2 in a row, are there any announcements? And I should look down here, but I think it looks like, no, I don't think so. Oh wait, there's Jean Hess. Wonderful hearing you play, Bill. Well, she came in on your piano playing. Oh, that's nice. Well, okay, so I don't think there's any announcements. All right, so we'll go ahead and we'll do "I'm the Bread of Life" and then the servant song to end our worship for tonight. And the people say, Amen.